Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Dr. Danish and today I am going to review one of the most popular and influential TED Talks on leadership and motivation, presented by Simon Sinek, titled How Great Leaders Inspire Action. Simon Sinek delivered this TED Talk sound, and his central message was very simple but extremely powerful. Leaders do not simply tell people what they do, they inspire people by communicating why they do it. The talk focuses on leader motivation, communication, innovation, and human psychology. Sinek explained his famous golden circle consisting of three questions: why, how, and what. The most important concept in this TED talk is the idea of stay with why. According to Sinek, every organization and every individual knows what they do. For example, a university knows what that is provide education. A technology company knows that it develops technology. A teacher knows that they teach students. Some people also know how they do it, their method, process, or unique approach. But very few organizations and individuals clearly understand or communicate why they do what they do. And by why, Sinek does not simply means making money. He means a deeper purpose, belief, or reason behind the work. This makes his message particularly powerful for teachers, educational leaders. Sinek explained this idea through his golden circle. The outside circle represent what, the middle represent how, and the center represent why. Most organizations communicate from outside toward the inside. They start by explaining what they do, then how they do it, and sometimes they talk about why. But inspiring leaders communicate in opposite direction. They start with why and then explain how and finally what. This simple change in communication can make a huge difference. For example, instead of saying we provide AI training for teachers, an inspiring leader might say, we believe our teachers should have access to modern technology so they can create better learning opportunities for students. The first statement explains what we do, the second communicates why we do it, and the second one is more likely to create emotional connection and motivation. One of the strengths of this TED talk that Sinek does not present Golden Circle only as theory. He supports his argument with several interesting examples. One major example is Apple. Sinek explained that Apple is not simply successful because it sells computers and technology. Instead, Apple communicates a belief about challenging the status quo and thinking differently. This creates an emotional connection with customers who identify with that belief. He also discusses Wright brother and their achievement of powered flight. According to Sinek explanation, they succeeded despite having fewer resources than some of their competitors. Another important example is Martin Luther King Jr. Sinek explained that people did not gather around Martin Luther King simply because of a detailed plan. They connected with his vision and what he believed in. This demonstrated an important leadership principle. People are often inspired by a purpose before they convinced by a plan. Another important lesson from this TED talk is difference between having a leadership position and actually inspiring people. A person can have a title, authority, or official position and still fail to inspire others. True leadership is different. People follow inspiring leaders not only because they have to, but because they want to. This is particularly important in education. A head of department, principal, teacher, manager, or team leader can use authority to give instruction, but the stronger approach is to communicate meaningful purpose and help people understand why their work matters. When people understand the purpose behind their responsibility, they are more likely to participate with commitment rather than simply following instructions. In my opinion, the biggest strength of Simon Sinek TED Talk is its simplicity. The concept of why, how, and what is easy to understand, but it can have a significant impact on leadership and communication. I particularly like the idea that leadership is not just about giving instruction. Leadership is about creating belief, purpose, trust, motivation. For teacher, this message is also highly relevant. A teacher should not only tell students why they need to learn. We should also explain why the knowledge is important and how it can be applied in real life. For example, instead of a simply teaching artificial intelligence tool, we can explain why AI literacy matters for the future of education, employment, and research society. So, The purpose can make learning more meaningful. Although I strongly appreciate the message of this TED Talk, I would also add one important point. Starting with why is powerful, but purpose alone is not enough. A leader also needs competence, planning, communication skills, execution accountability, and ability to convert vision into practical result. A powerful why can inspire people to begin a journey, but good leadership is also about helping them successfully complete that journey. So I see Golden Circle as an excellent leadership framework, but not as complete leadership system by itself. That conclude Simon Sinek, How Great Leaders Inspire Action is an excellent TED Talk for anyone interested in leadership, education, business communication, or personal development. The central message I take from this: don't begin by asking only what do we do. Instead, ask why does it matter. When people understand the purpose behind their work, they are more likely to become motivated, committed, and inspired. For me, the most important lesson is that great leaders don't simply create followers, they create believers in a meaningful purpose. As an educator and leader, we should therefore try to communicate not only what we are doing and how we are doing it, but most importantly, why we are doing it. That is powerful lesson Simon Sinek communicates through his TED Talk. Thank you for watching. I hope this review inspires you to think about your own why. Keep remembers me in your prayer. Take care of yourself and see you soon. Take care. Allah Hafiz.